Yo, what's up, everybody? Heck Shy here, whatever you know me as best. And I just want to make this video just to show everybody because I've been talking about in the last couple of videos that I've become a Metafy coach. However, I think the issue is a lot of people, while they know I offer coaching services, gameplay guides, and stuff like that, and I do have students and people who I've been showing, I'd like to reach out to a broader audience of players besides just high level players, also up and coming players who do this and even players who might be better than me at the game itself, just because I want to offer insight and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do here is show everybody what my $15 match review gameplay works as. It's just gonna be me going over. I'm gonna do one game here just to show y'all the type of insight and content that I offer. So maybe y'all all could be interested if you ever want to get coaching on this. So I might make this a little series where I just match review some of my favorite sets. This set particularly I haven't seen actually, so y'all can just see me going in blind everything like that. But maybe later throughout the week I'll do this, once a week or everything like that. With that said, let's get into this.
He is very good.
This one is so the important thing to talk about first off is zones. For those who haven't seen the Damn Doctors video of DBFZ zones, zones 1 through 4, it's the Bible. It'll be in the description. It's pretty much everything that I tell my students was really important, was good to learn from, and it's the baseline of becoming like high level play. So with that mentioned, let's talk about game start here. Once it loads up, it's pretty important. So first and foremost, game start and round start is actually different in DBFZ. So for example, we have let's say base cheetah here, and then I represent him like this. And while it's good to know your game start and round start distances, the interesting thing is that uh, Gogeta actually has about this much range. So if we like, let's say threat range is a straight line, right? Gogeta has 5M, which goes about here. He has Super Jump JM, which actually goes in an arc, so I have to draw that one. It goes about here, right? Maybe in that space. That's Jump Forward JM. He has Super Jump JM, which is off screen, right? You can't see that one. And then he has, various other things. A favorite of a lot of them is actually Backdash, so you go backwards, and then 2M, which would bring him about right here. And these are all his like easy threat ranges. He has Super Jump Back JM, which is a really strong one. He goes backwards like this, but he still threatens all of this space here. So just this in general, like to ignore the clutter, the easiest way to show it is he threatens here from game start. He threatens here, 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 and here. Um, so that's pretty threatening. A lot of issues with approaching him on game start with a lot of characters. It's usually wild. They usually press 5M or something like that. He does have high recovery beams and he has 0 meter, so he can't commit to anything super strong. But this is like usually Gogeta players have to make a gamble here because he's actually really bad with 0 meters. So you have to make a gamble to try to auto win neutral, like Super Jump JM, Call Assist, like Call Vegito, right? See what you can get from that because he does have Vegito assist to cover the screen and everything like that. However, let's go on base Vegeta real quick. The interesting thing about him is that he actually covers about this much with 5M, only about here. Rocky Kick covers the whole screen, that's M. L will go here. And even better, Jump Forward JM covers here. 2S covers here. Disc covers here. And 3S covers here. As you can see, base Vegeta actually covers mad angles. Super Jump JM covers here. So this is like a quick debrief on those round starts and all the options that they have. Usually because of how many options characters have on round starts, both characters usually just jump straight back, right, and secure full screen neutral. But this would be the chance to gain center, of whoever takes the risk. So let's play out right here. I'm assuming just because he's base Vegeta and he wants space, Kite's gonna go backwards here, and Punk's gonna go forward. Kite's gonna be in a defensive situation, but he's gonna be on the ground. Punk's gonna be in there. So let's see what happens. Okay. Well, it led to a first hit, so let's talk about what happened in this quick little sequence here. Let's slow it down actually, so we can talk and record. Half speed should be fine. Let's get a color out. All right. So Kite he does backdash here, and then JS Punk double jumps JL. Right. Punk went back to. He committed at first. He jumped forward, then jumped back, like I said. So that was jump back from Punk. They both backed off from neutral because of how many options each other has. Kite did the IED back JS, probably the snipe and assist. However, Punk spent a normal double jump, so he still had float properties, but he didn't have any air dash or anything like that. Kite jumps up JL to check, and then he autopilots into a JS right there. Punk calls an assist as soon as he touches the ground. Kite gets a misinput on a disc that probably would actually hit Vegito if he got it out in time, but because of the misinput, that was either a reflect or a disc, one or the other. He gets hit.
All right, nice. Punk can get in the first hit. Huh? He does got the combos. I will not lie. Punk does got the combos. Ooh.
Nice little knockdown situation for
One more
Punk
to
here. Let's see what he's about to do.
second meter. Nice. I
Good
like this
safe
safe
jump.
jump.
This is a 50-50 situation. Something I tell
1.8.
all of my players to
Punk
do
at second
is keep it
meter.
simple. When you have a character with a low,
Nice. I like
you don't gotta get fancy
this.
sometimes. This is the strongest mix-up situation in the game. Uh, Once you're in the air, you get a high-low. It's a 50-50, very hard to block. Um, a quick little concept I want to mention here is like influencing where their eyes are looking. So as it's a little crunchy because of video quality, but if you look over here, you can see that Vegito over here, that Vegito is in cooldown, right? And you need one stagger to get your assist on recovery. So Kite looks up here to see where the assist is at if Punk got the stagger, and in that moment, either the mental stack of trying to look for the assist recovery and or just Gogeta himself having 5S, 3S, or he has 5S, 2S, 236L, M, and also Super Dash as true string options or as gapped options that you have to react to differently in order to get a 50-50. So with all that said, Kite didn't react to the Super Dash. It's only 21 frames at this point, and
Safe jump.
he gets a mix-up.
Ooh. And
First mix-up of the game. Kite understands that if
Punk
he
at
gets hit
second
here,
meter.
he loses. And in DBFZ, the way you lose is either the first person to lose sparking loses round one. Usually, the first person who loses a character loses the game. So if Punk gets out of this sparking situation without dying, he actually just wins the game most likely. 2v3 with the full team having sparking is pretty much impossible. However, as we can see,
Nice. I like this safe jump.
Punk down techs, Kite 236L meaty
Ooh. And
combos, and he didn't have a combo down.
uh,
So yeah,
safe
but
jump.
that would have been a dead character.
Ooh. And Punk using the
Misconfirm. Punk does backdash JM as a defensive reset, and they're back to neutral.
Hold on. Did we just JM a super dash? Hey, yo.
And that was just good.
Dash 50-50.
Kaiton sparking, he really needs to get the
Hold
hit,
on. Did we just JM
and JM
a
plus
super dash?
assist.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Ya tú sabes, papi. Ya tú sabes. ¿Qué lo que? Hey, yo.
Right here,
Hey, yo. Ya tú
and it's a
sabes,
panic
papi. Ya
option. I understand.
tú
You
sabes.
shouldn't
¿Qué lo que?
spend your super dash with the assist threats. I
Hey,
mean your
yo.
double jump here.
Hey,
Let's see if I
yo.
can get
Ya
the
tú
pause.
sabes, papi. Ya
Right here, um, as we can see, Kite knew that Brawly was right here loading up. Well, I took a square out. Brawly's loading up here, and the only range Brawly threatens is here. So of course, Punk touching the ground will go here, which means you're cut off in this entire little box here, right? Like this is just his space. The option that Kite picks is double jump back to try and avoid Brawly. And while it's good, if you look at the path, they still essentially make contact with each other. Vegeta's normals will catch you there, and you're still ending up blocking. The best option here was with distance taken into account, Kite could have just double jumped forward. And yes, Punk would have to jump straight up or a little bit back to get there, but because he had dash momentum, even jumping straight up would still influence him to move a little forward. Or even another option would have been land reflect. This is a guaranteed reflect point. That's another thing I want to keep talking about. If you can get a guaranteed reflect, it does give you a little gimmick guess situation where you can either raw tag, reflect, mash, reflect, etc. But because of Gogeta's anti-reflect, I agree that double jump would have been the best option. It's just what kind of double jump would he should have done. So back to that. Double jump back made him block the assist, and he got mixed.
Oh,
No confirm,
oh,
no.
better now, better now. Oh, and Punk does.
And
Oh my.
so there's a very easy way to tell why this has
Oh,
happened.
better now, better now.
So this time it was fast tag, so there's no X. However, we'll talk about it later in the set because it does come
Oh
up.
my God.
When you're holding assist while blocking, there's actually an
Super
X.
dash.
There's actually an X over your assist.
It's done to him. Yo, like 50%.
It's just a normal
Oh,
combo.
yo, where his health bar go?
He might
Oh
die.
my God. Yo,
Dump your supers.
drop that shit. Drop the whole load. Oh my
Hmm.
God. I ain't gonna lie. Kite getting it kind of done to him right now, bro.
Good jump.
Okay, nice. That's the
Kite
OSS.
dropping his
He
combos.
tried to go for the more optimal Kibble combo where you actually land. Okay. Right,
Back to
Kite gets
neutral.
the
Threatening
super dash.
spaces.
Oh,
Good super dash.
gets it confirmed. EX
Honestly,
in that super dash.
without going too in depth about it, because I'll save it for like a review of like
Yo,
actual
where his
players I'm
health bar
coaching.
go? Oh my God, that sits me
Kite
right
has an
now.
understanding of Broly
Drop
and
the
his
whole
ranges.
load.
Broly's actually
Oh my
really bad against little bodies right now.
Kite getting it kind of done to him.
Because his 5L whiff, so he has to become an 8 frame
I
character,
like that.
and 8 frames are really
That's
slow in this meta.
classic.
So he
Smart.
double jumps
He
here,
tried to
resets
go. He tried to go
neutral,
for the
ID back to force
more
Broly to
optimal
shoot
Kibble
key
combo.
blast angles,
Broly
double
didn't
jump
actually
forward.
land.
This disc call was really good. If he had blocked, he actually got the hit. He would have confirmed and got Kid Buu out.
Right, Kite
They're going back to neutral.
in that
You actually want to play Broly. It's scary, but you want to play him closer to this range. Just because EX throw is his option, but backdash lets you get out of it. You can usually backdash, super dash, and even punish sometimes, or even just jump back.
super dash flew.
And the fact that at this range, super dash is unreactable. His 5S is his go-to neutral tool, and he caught Punk backdashing here, so nice.
Ooh, gets it confirmed.
Keep it
EX
simple.
blue ball.
Raw tag
I like
out.
that. Get the tag.
So this is a
Another one.
50-50 situation.
Mid screen level
Remember
3.
what we talked about? The first team to lose a character is usually the one that loses. So even though Kite lost Spark, he might get the kill
Oh,
here.
which
Punk's
side am I
probably
on?
gonna
Am I
Spark
on
if he blocks.
bitch?
So either it's a hit or a
I
Spark
guess
bait.
left side of
Spark bait after the hit. So let's see what he goes for.
that shit.
Exactly what I said. First person to lose a character loses.
I like. Oh, nice.
And Kite with the reactive call. So if you can react with these fast assists that spawn behind you to moves like that, it's usually a guaranteed hit. He probably didn't know Broly did shoulder charge, but he did see Broly do an attack, call an assist, free confirm. If he didn't block that, Vegeta was gonna keep Broly safe. So this
Oh,
was really
nice.
good.
And a good confirm from Kite. Not gonna be
That
able to get
5L
that
confirm
super
actually
dash
lost a
in
bunch of damage
or assist.
because he only
Oh,
did
he
single hit.
wastes out that spark time like a motherfucker. Oh yeah, waste out
Keep him in
that
the
spark
corner.
time. Oh.
The good thing about this right now is Kite has Kibu A. So if you make him block once, Punk has to either give you 2 bars or this character dies.
Good knockdown. Oh, nice. Good save jump. Oh my, he pressed 5L. Oh, this nigga punk about to
21
join
is
this.
really hard to get Oki off for a command throw.
No cap. Oh my god. 5L.
Good.
Oh, this nigga
Stand your
punk about to
ground.
join this.
This is really easy. This is exactly what I was just talking about earlier. Let's go back to the full
Good
screen
knockdown.
presence
Oh,
situation.
nice. Good save jump. Oh my, he pressed 5L. Oh, this nigga punk about to join.
Here. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier about threat ranges and threat angles. Kite only has 1 assist because Kibu A can't be used in neutral. So 21 herself can cover this, but Base Vegeta actually doesn't cover the full screen. He covers this. So all Punk has to do is touch the ground. 21 can cover this angle with M ball. So L ball covers there, M ball covers here. But the Base Vegeta angle is the important one. He actually isn't going full screen. He curves up, which is Broly's key blast angle. So that's important. But if Broly stands ground on the ground, he's actually fine and out of the range of all of Kite's assists. So 21 herself has to come to you, which, as we can see coming up, Kite does have to pull up and get closer to put you in Vegeta's range.
No cap.
And
Oh
Punk
my
just stays ground and
god.
presses 5-0.
He anti-air on 5L. Oh, he drops the combo though. This is Z Broly. Gotta be careful.
Good JM, 21 start range.
Good.
It's a
JM into
bubble.
5M. Get
That's
that
the
super
best way to
dash
think
out.
about it. Whenever
Oh,
approaching a character, you have to think of a bubble of how big they can
Activate left
threaten an
side.
attack.
Without tapping. Without
So
tapping.
both characters in the air right now, just a quick just think about this is how big 21's threat range is. About that, right? JH hits behind her. JM hits in front. JL hits a little above, so she has JL right here. I can make them all separate circles, actually. I think that would be easier to differentiate. Let's do it that way. So if we make them all separate circles, this is how it look. JM covers here. Like, even if she herself might not have a hitbox there, you don't want to be in that range. JH covers here. JL covers here. And Dive covers here. So that's all the threat ranges where being near her, she can put a hitbox out, and you have to interact with it in some way. Gogeta's a little different. JM covers here. JH covers here. 2S covers here. Dive covers here. And then if you're ever above him, DP actually covers right here. He has a 5S as well, so he can cover here. So if you notice, he has less range forward than 21, right? Without committing to specials and like high committal moves, because the arrows are, the committal moves, circles are normals. His JH, while having good distance, is more committal than 21 doing it because she maintains momentum. However, it's easier to confirm stuff like that. So what you're gonna notice is players are gonna play outside these bubbles. 21's gonna approach Gogeta a lot because he has to commit to Key Blast to really mess with her in the mid range and stuff like that. So even JL Kite can go below Gogeta, and his only options is to press JM, which will out prioritize her JL, or uh, honestly J2H, but that'll get hit. So you don't really want to be underneath for 21 because of the medium priority he has here. That his below is really strong, but you can approach him horizontally with her. So let's just see how they interact with these bubbles in mind.
I got a man. I don't need you. I got my own dude. Oh, okay. Super jump floats. Oh, and
That
the
was the end
anti-air
ball we
key
was talking
blast.
about. JL didn't
Ooh,
connect because of
punk gonna take
range.
out.
Disc crushed that from that
I like
angle,
that.
and
Oh, and
right
the
there, that
anti-air
was
key
so easy
blast.
to see.
Gonna hit punk.
We
Punk
go
gonna take
back
out.
to here. Disc misses, my bad, and 21 start range. JM, and boom, you're forced to block. It's time to
I like that.
guess.
Oh yeah, mix. Oh
He
my
messed up the mix
god,
up,
that was
but
almost invisible.
y'all understand the
Oh
concept.
yeah, yeah,
This is another thing we
oh
talk
yeah,
about
mix. Oh
on
my
trades.
god, that was.
So you have to know if your 6M trades or clashes with somebody. And these trades, because they both move forward and they don't actually make contact with each other, as you can see. Ignore the crunchy video, but this is an important thing to make sure you take care of and look at.
Invisible. Oh yeah, yeah,
So
punk.
like here, I would probably, if I was
That
reviewing
yeah.
like a student's content, right?
Valentine's Day is about to happen.
Here, I would bring up.
Got my
Uh,
own dude. Oh,
let's let the
okay.
situation
Super jump
happen again.
floats. Oh, and the anti-air key blast. Gonna hit punk. Punk gonna take out. I like that. Oh yeah, mix. Oh my god, that was almost.
If I was commenting here, I would say think about what characters clash with you and what characters trade. Make sure to keep threat ranges in mind when engaging, and let's continue.
Invisible. Oh yeah,
So of
yeah,
course
punk
he gets
that.
pushed back because of the trade. You're supposed to press like either backdash or 5M there
Not
once you trade with the
invisible yet.
character because your
Still
jab's out of
gonna stay in
range.
combo. Still gonna be able to kill from you anyway.
It's a dead character.
Nice Dragon Rush. He can go level 2 into level
So it's
1.
actually unfortunate
Level
because
1 into
remember
level
the
4
rule:
is so
whoever
good
loses
right now.
character first usually loses. This drop
Oh,
probably just turned the game
oh,
for
whose
Kite.
build is that? Hey, yo.
He doesn't have the health advantage, so
Nice,
just a
nice, nice.
quick little scope of the game. Kite doesn't have the health advantage anymore, right? He has the meteor advantage, and he does have the assist advantage in mix-up potential. Vegito still has a layered style assist, but it's considerably slower than anything Base Vegeta needs to worry about. So this assist will probably get sniped by Base Vegeta a lot, but split finger shot is still a really important thing in this matchup. But let's keep focusing on what we can see here.
Hey, yo, where this crap came from? God damn.
Yeah, see, the assist got sniped in the middle of that.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a good
uh,
one.
that was just a
All right, you
bad
ready?
call.
Kite, finally.
Kite dropped the combo. He pressed 2H, and then he matched his assist. His assist almost got happy birthday for that. Kid Boo's not a DP assist or anything like that.
Just a little bit.
So it's just a
Oh,
bad
that's a
call.
medium starter.
And that's a dead
Oh, no
character.
re-jump, though. Huh? Okay, nice. Oh, is this dead? He's dead. This man is DED. I had to move around because Bum was trying to do it to me on Facebook. What? Bing bong. You put it up and then look at this one.
2v1's extremely hard.
Hey,
Vegito
yo,
sits right
he.
there to force you to block. Good
Oh,
blocks by him, good reaction,
oh,
and that's a
nice.
full
Yeah,
punish.
exactly. That's what I was saying. You trying to do it to me. Bing bong. Hey, yo, that's definitely the wrong shit. Nice
I
level
think he
3
should have
start.
level 3'd a little early instead of
Oh,
dashing forward, because he wouldn't have been fully in the corner. But this works either way. You get a little knockdown pressure, good read on the DP, and that's just good Dragon Ball.
that's for us? I get you some.
So
Oh, you the best. Now,
he's an anchor character, right? And they both jumped like we talked about earlier. Just quickly, they're both in limit break. Punk has a meter and health advantage. It should be a win for Punk. Kibu threatens this with a committal JM. He threatens right here with a JL, and then he threatens here with a JH. So Kibu's actually not that scary in the air. You just let him fight you on the ground. The scary thing about Kid Buu is Boo Ball, which with assist carries that angle and also allows you to mix after they block it. But because he doesn't have an assist, EX Boo Ball is a thing, but it won't lead into a mix up. So Kite should actually just have to play the slow game with him. Let's see what that lead to.
the commentary anyway. Yeah, so I can't eat it. Damn.
EX
Bing bong,
legs,
didn't you
EX
you can't
throw.
eat it anyway? Yeah, but man.
Good
Oh, you
confirm.
good? All right. Oh, nice. All right, Kite.
We didn't talk about Vegito's threat ranges because it's kind of different than
Oh
other
my
characters.
God.
That's just
Triple
a
tap.
really strong card DR.
All right, Kite ready?
What he did was 5 Veil. The second hit of 5 Veil, card into DR. Card is just canceling the first 4 frames of a move into another move. And that's pretty much
Oh my
impossible to
God.
react to in a close
Thank you,
situation
Tech.
like that.
Mr. Woodley.
He
Mr.
might be
Woodley,
dead.
thank you, Tech.
He didn't care to go for the extension.
This okie dokie time. Uh,
Last hit wins.
yeah, Street Fighter 5 niggas hold this.
Guess for game.
Oh,
And Punk tried to jump.
oh my God. That shit was meaty, meaty,
And that's game
meaty.
one. That's game one. But yeah, of course I can go over the whole set, but I just want to show everybody just the things we'll talk about, the concepts we can cover in a real coaching session if you're able to do that. So for everybody who might be interested, who wants their gameplay reviewed, me to talk about more things like this, I can also make this a series, just me doing this weekly on some of my favorite sets of the week. It'll be fun, and I'll also be willing to do this for anybody who signs up for the Metafy coaching. It's $15. It's discounted for everybody who's a sub and everybody who's a YouTube member. Please just take a look into it. I'd be happy to help you guys level up your game. That's all I really need. Peace.